Good morning. Are you guys doing great? Yes. Today is our last day, and I have something super fun planned for today. Today we're going to be talking about transfers. And so what a transfer is there's a couple examples of transfers. Do you see these intricate, detailed patterns that would be really difficult to paint with the brush? So what people do is they create a transfer, usually with like a silk screen, or you can even make it yourself. And they're able to draw with a pencil and make these intricate patterns. And then they print it on a paper with some glaze instead of regular paint. And then you're able to put that glaze onto your piece. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So I have 3 different types of transfers that we're going to be experimenting with. And did you guys get your transfers yesterday from Kristen? Your little fish and star.
Hey, Jess, you're frozen.
I just cut mine down. So you have like this sheet of paper that's kind of this light brown. It's kind of thin.
Oh, I don't think we got that. I'm not sure. Oh, yes.
So, Spellman's, it's a big folded up sheet of paper. It's not in your new box, it's in your original box.
Oh, yeah. For all of us, we're now just using regular newspaper because.
So this is going to be for something else. This is something different. So you'll want that paper, because we're going to be making a transfer with this for our ceramics. Did you guys have it or no?
No, we didn't. We didn't take it.
You guys got it.
Bars, they eventually ripped. So we just.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's fine. It's okay. You can try it with the newspaper. I'm not sure if the ink from the newspaper will transfer as well. But you can try it with the newspaper.
Yeah.
You can let us know how it goes. Yeah.
You never know how it's going to turn out. Could be really cool.
Could be really cool. All right. And then you'll need some scissors. You guys could find some scissors. I know that's a hard thing to find in my house. I never know where the scissors are. Do you guys have any scissors handy? Because we're awesome, perfect. Thank you. Those are great. Crocker and Sawyer, do you guys have any scissors? Okay, perfect. And then you'll need your straw. I don't know if you got the straw in your kit. I don't remember.
No, we didn't.
I forgot, and you know what else I forgot? Bubble wrap.
That's fine. The bubble wrap is fine.
Oh, we have some curly straws.
You have a straw. It could be a straight straw, curly straw like mine. Just a straw. Each of you guys need one.
We have. Wait, do these work?
Those are perfect. Yep.
Straws and one plastic straw.
Awesome. That's perfect. And then you'll need a cup with water. So I have my cup of water for my brushes, but I also have another cup with just a little bit of water inside. You don't need a lot of water.
Joaquin is joining us just now.
Okay, perfect. Good morning, Joaquin. Maybe he's not on quite yet.
He's still connecting.
Okay. We're waiting on you guys to gather your supplies. So do you guys have, each of you guys are gonna need a little cup, and something shorter is better. Just a small short cup, like this is my kid's cup. And just a little bit of water inside.
Okay, I'll pick that up. Does this work?
Yeah, that will work. One for each of you.
One already has one. And
And then we'll need brushes.
I'll get the brushes.
Thank you, Julia, for getting those. Okay, we'll need some brushes. And the glazes we're going to be using today are the underglazes, the ones with the stars on the lid.
Okay.
And then you'll also want your little black bottle, the one with the star.
Okay.
I think it might be the blue lid one. I don't remember.
Yeah, it has a blue.
Okay. And the last thing you might need is a sponge. Do you guys have your sponge from your kits?
We have this sponge.
Awesome, that is perfect. Or Crocker and Sawyer, I saw you guys have your sponge. Okay. See, is Joaquin on? Morning, Joaquin. Okay, so you guys ready? Ready to get started? All right, so yesterday, did you guys make some little slabs?
Yep. I made
Perfect.
a rainbow
Awesome.
and a cat.
Cool. Okay.
And Sam has a little house.
Awesome. Perfect. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 different transfers, and then you guys can choose which one you want to do. All right, on your pieces. Okay, are we ready, Parker and Sawyer? Awesome. I see the little thumb. It's so funny. Okay, we're ready? This is going to be so much fun. Okay, so first thing I wanted to do was this. This is called a Deke Decal, and it's real easy. It's kind of like those paper tattoos that you can put on, those kids' tattoos. It's just like that, but for ceramics instead. So there's like this little paper that you have to separate from the little hard paper. And you don't want to get your image up with it. Like right there, it was pulling up my image as well. So you have to carefully pull back the tissue without the rest of the image, which is a little tricky, obviously. I did this once before and it wasn't so hard. So if you start to see your image pull up, you're grabbing both your image and your paper. And so just like separate them and then just pull back just the paper. Okay. And then just like a little tattoo, you're going to put your fish image face side down. Okay, so the colored side is down on my paper or on my clay. Okay, and then I'm just going to get a little water and a sponge. And I'm going to dab the back side of it so it's wet, just like when you're putting on a little tattoo. It's going to release that image from the back paper. And then I can use a tool or like the back side of my finger, my fingernail, and I'm just gonna rub it down. And then I'm gonna lift it up with my needle tool. And it did not come up. If it doesn't come separate, then you just rub it some more. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, and just slowly peel it back. And there is my fish. And if it bubbles up or pulls up, just tap it back down. And you can see this transfers onto my clay, and then I can fire that. And I'll have a little fish on my piece. So you can buy cool transfers that are going to give you more detail and a more complicated image than you could draw yourself. So that's a really cool option. So that's one transfer. And then we're going to do a laser printer transfer. And this is kind of like magic, I feel like. Okay, so I'm going to pick a color for my star. Maybe I'll do yellow. And the way a laser jet printer works is the ink sits on top of the paper. And because of that, our paint is not going to want to be in the same place as our ink. It kind of resists the paint, kind of like oil and water. They kind of pull away from each other. So I'm going to paint this on, and you can see I'm painting over that black, but it's resisting the glaze. The glaze will not go on the black. So I'm just painting within those black lines. You don't have to worry too much about being perfect. But look, now I have this perfect star. And stars are really difficult to draw. So you could print one. I had to go to FedEx to have them print because they have laser jets or laser printers. And I guess at home we have inkjets. So it won't work with your printer at home. But you could send an image to them, anything you want, and have them print it. So I'm just gonna let this dry for just a second. And then the same thing that I did with my fish, I'm gonna do with my star. I'm gonna lay it down with the colored side down. And I'm gonna take my sponge and sponge the back side, just so it's a little wet. And then I'm going to rub it with my tool or with my finger until I can kind of start to see the image from the back side. And then I'm going to slowly peel it back. And if there's any areas that are not transferring to my clay, then I can go back and rub those areas again. So there's my star. And I think I got some glaze coming out because of the water I put on. But yeah, then you transfer your little star. And I love this kind of transfer because you can see it's not absolutely perfect. So it kind of gives this little rustic image. And I included some words for you guys too. And you'll notice that they're backwards. but when you flip them over, then they'll be right side. So it's a cool way to print words on your pieces, because that would be really impossible to paint those perfectly. Okay, and then the third kind of transfer, I'm using this newsprint, and I cut it just a little bit bigger than my piece. So I cut it down, and I'm going to work kind of backwards. So because I'm going to be transferring it just like the others, I'm going to be putting the image down. I'm going to want to put the things that I want on top first. Is that right? I have to even think about this. Yes, okay. So I want to do any drawing or details first, and then the background on top of it, okay? So I'm just going to draw some like little wavy lines. Okay. And you can get really detailed. I wouldn't put any words, because words you would have to write backwards. Okay, so it's going to transfer backwards. And I'm going to let that sit and let it dry before I put on my next layer. Okay, so while that's drying, I want to show you the last thing that you guys can do. And I'm going to do this on my fish, and you'll see why here in just a second. Okay, so I have just a little bit of water in my cup. And sorry, I had a call come in. And I'm going to add some underglaze to it. I'm going to do purple, because I think my fish likes the color purple. So kind of like before, like 1 part paint to maybe 3 parts water. And I'm going to stir that around with my paintbrush. And then I'm going to take my straw, and just like, you know, when you have chocolate milk and you like to blow bubbles in your chocolate milk, that's what we're going to do with our glaze. So don't suck up though, don't drink this, just blow out. Okay, it's not thick enough, so let me pour some of this out and add some more glaze to it. I hope this works. This is super fine. Not working. Okay. Let me see if maybe it's because it's underglaze. I thought it would work with the underglaze too, but maybe I have to have regular glaze. So I'm going to try it with the regular glaze. And since I'm doing it with regular glaze, I'm going to put it on one of these pieces instead. A piece that's already been fired. Well, I don't know why it's not working, guys. I thought this would be so fun and easy. It's supposed to like bubble up like chocolate milk, and then you bubble it over onto your piece. Let me see. Maybe experiment with it.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe what if you just like did like the straight glaze?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe just more glaze. And just maybe a touch of water, I don't know. I just did a touch. Still not working. I'm not sure why. It should work. Maybe I'm missing a piece to the puzzle. Maybe I'm missing something I should have added. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Okay, well, I'm going to have to figure out why that's not working. I must have forgotten to add something that I should have added. So sad, because that was like, I was so excited about the bubbles. I will have to tell you guys what you're supposed to do in order to make that work. I'll have to go back and look. Okay.
I'm gonna try it. Let me try. I'm gonna try it with just some of like the regular glaze that we got. I'm just gonna try to blow some bubbles in it. I'll put myself on so you don't have to hear me. And if I can get the right consistency, maybe we can use something they already have in their box.
Yeah. I'm thinking you must have to add something to it, like baking soda or glycerin or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, let me see. I'm just gonna wander around and
Or actually, I think I
accomplish.
know what it is. I think I remember. I think I'm supposed to add some dish soap. So let me grab some dish soap.
Oh, that would make sense.
I completely forgot about that. And everyone has dish soap, so that's good. Okay, so let's try this again.
There it is.
And yeah, there you go. All right, and now you just let your bubbles fall over your piece.
It's gonna be so cool.
And so just like yesterday with the glazing, how it didn't look like much, and once we fire it, you'll be able to see the glaze better. Same with these bubbles. It might not look like much at first because the glaze is going to be very light, but I promise you, you will be able to see it once you fire it. So just let your bubbles sit there for a little bit, and then you can pop them after a minute or so.
Could you try doing the bubble technique with the underglazes and see if it
Yes.
works up?
Yes, I'm thinking it should work with the underglazes as well. And you can just do it on your fish transfer. So I'm going to do it again with the underglaze. So yeah, you just need to add a little bit of dish soap to it. Not a lot, I don't think. Just a little bit. Just enough to make it bubble over. Okay, I'm just with underglaze now. just gonna let that fall on there. And I'm just gonna let it sit for just a minute. Because remember, with watercolor, if it sits, the longer it sits, the darker it kind of gets. Okay, so that's super fun. Bubbles for Friday. Yay, I'm glad I remembered that dish soap. Okay, so going back to this transfer paper, you should wait until it's no longer shiny. And I have just a few little spots that are shiny, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to just do 2 layers. You could do 3 layers if you wanted, but I'm just gonna do my black lines and then a background color. So maybe I'll do, what color should I do? What do you guys think? Should I do red? What color did you say, Carolina? I didn't hear you, Phil. Okay, so I'm just going to paint over this. With my second coat of glaze. And then I'm going to let that sit as well. Until it's completely dry. And then we can transfer it to our piece. So this is a fun way to be able to make your own transfers at home. Okay, so there's my transfer. Okay, and I'm just gonna let that dry. And while that's drying, I'll show you guys some ideas that you guys can do. So this is an artist that I love. She does this newsprint transfer, this one right here that is drying. And so she is able to make these beautiful botanical prints with it. And then this is the same thing, a newsprint transfer. So you can draw whatever you'd like. This is the bubbles, how the bubbles might turn out. Ours might look a little different because our glaze is going to be different. But I also wanted to show you that you can draw some really intricate designs too, to transfer. You can draw people or animals or whatever. Okay. So yeah, transfers are super fun because you're able to get the look of things that maybe you wouldn't have been able to otherwise. Like these artists used transfers on their pots, and it would have been very difficult to draw this figure. And then you see all these little dots behind them. This was probably a decal transfer that they maybe made or bought. And then you see these numbers. So lots of decal transfers, words, like it's printed or something on here. And then this one's really beautiful transfer as well. So you can transfer things onto curved shapes. But usually when we do a transfer, we do it flat and then we shape it. Like if we wanted to make a cup, we would do the transfer first and then we would form it into the cup. So yeah, you guys have fun and experiment with all your different transfers. And you can see, I can barely see some bubbles on my clay, but those will show up more once we fire them. You guys see like those little purple bubbles? Just barely, but they're there. Trust that they're there. But yes, you can do that on any of your fired pieces that you haven't glazed yet. So today is the day that we can finish glazing any of our pieces. And you guys can use any of the techniques that we've gone over this week.
Is there gonna be anything that we have to make for tomorrow?
Sam.
No, today is our last day actually.
Oh,
I know, sad, huh? But if you guys have clay, you guys are still welcome to make things. And you guys have glaze, and now you know how to use them. So under glazes are usually for things that haven't been fired yet, and glazes are for things that have been fired.
We can just ask and fire them.
Yeah.
she's our namer.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I bet she could fire any of the pieces you make for you. So you guys are welcome to keep making things. I would love for you guys to continue your ceramics journey. You know, sometimes we go to school to learn things and we think our learning stops when the class stops or when we're no longer in school. But learning goes on forever, and I want you guys to keep learning and keep experimenting and playing with clay. If you love it, keep doing it. And I'd love to see what you do. You'll get better and better at it the more you practice too. Those words are really awesome to use as well. You might find that some of your glaze gets on the ink. But if you just use your finger, you can just rub the glaze off of the ink so it doesn't transfer. That's on the laser jet transfers.
I think I made way too many bubbles.
Yeah. She has so many bubbles coloring your slab, it's like a force field.
That's so funny. I see them all. That's awesome.
I think it might go through the newspaper.
Okay, I'm gonna try my newsprint transfer, even though it's not fully dry. Well, let's see how it turns out.
Yeah, I don't.
So I'm just gonna lay this over my piece. And I'm gonna use my sponge to kind of wet the backside just a bit. And I'm going to use my tool to rub it down. Okay, moment of truth.
This one isn't working, but you can keep trying. First step is peeling off
So you guys can see my transfer.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Really cool. You can try that with your newspaper. You can paint on your newsprint and then transfer it on there. And that's a really cool way to make a transfer. I'm going to add some more stars to this star. I gave you guys a few different sizes too.
You're going to put this down on it.
Okay. Now what?
Now you switched.
How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Joaquin? I know you got on a little late. Are you able to follow everything?
Yes, I got it.
Awesome. Let me know if you have any questions or need help.
Do I need to make it this way or was that too wet? Was that too wet? More red.
Now press it down. Press it down like you would a tattoo, and then you're going to peel off the stuff. But you've got to press it down really hard, like, and wait for
A few minutes.
or a few, like 30 seconds.
Yeah, so each of you guys got a fish and then one of these like snowflake things.
Making it right.
Yep, ready.
I think the most tricky part is just separating the paper from the actual.
Well, you're supposed to start peeling up and check and see if it's working. So now that you can't use that.
Yeah, because sometimes when you peel up, you grab both layers, and you just have to push down that other layer because you just want the paper, not the actual picture, not the fish. And they kind of want to stick together, don't they?
Yep.
There's no more stickers left.
If it's not working in one area, just try a different area.
Yeah, you can use a different technique. What does it look like? Like what you did. Peel this up.
How are you guys able to get the paper off? Is it difficult?
Pretty difficult.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The first one I tried wasn't that difficult, but today They have one that stick together.
We
I
don't
don't want to come apart. It helps to have nails. You can ask someone who has nails.
I do.
You do? Good.
Is this, do I have to pay
You
those?
can help him.
Or you already did?
Oh, Julie kills. Oh, guys, I'm gonna do something for just a second. We're still on the meeting, but I just need something.
And if your transfer isn't sticking to your clay, just keep rubbing it.
Okay, there we go. So,
Thank you, Julia, for helping him.
I'm not sticks. I made a guitar that I'm gonna transfer some stuff onto.
Awesome. I love your guitar. That's going to be so fun. You don't want your sponge to be too wet. Just a little damp. Just to dampen your paper.
Look, let me. There's clay. This thing. So, oh, this one. This one will. Where do you want it to go onto? Where? No, that's fine. Yeah. Put way too many bubbles. Oopsie, yeah. Made a big mess of bubbles.
That's okay.
Wait. How come our name is Bob?
This glaze cleans up real easy. Parker and Sawyer, are you guys doing all right? Need help with anything? Good.
Good.
Awesome. Good. So if you guys want to use your words, they say awesome, cool, and star. kind of hard to read when they're backwards. Were you guys able to get all your pieces glazed throughout the week, or do you still have some left to glaze?
We still have some left.
Okay. Well, that's all right. That's good. That's better than not having enough. You guys can combine things or whatever you'd like.
My favorite styles that I learned this week was the Majolica. That was really, yeah.
It is beautiful, isn't it? What was your favorite thing, Carolina?
What was your favorite thing this week, Carolina?
Giving
The transfers.
The transfers. Transfers are super fun. What about you, Sam?
I kind of liked making the pots more than glazing them.
More than glazing them?
Yeah, making the pots was fun.
Yeah, it is. It is lots of fun, isn't it? I agree with you. I enjoy making the pots too. What about you, Sawyer? What was your favorite glaze?
Probably the wax.
The wax resist. Awesome. And is Crocker there with you?
No, not right now.
All right. I didn't see him, so I wasn't sure. What about you, Joaquin? What has been your favorite thing to learn this week?
The transfer.
The transfers. I
Yes.
saved those for the last because I think they're super fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad that everyone enjoyed our class this week. And you guys all learned something new.
Yep. Because before this, I remember at my old school we would do clay all the time, but we never wedged it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to wedge it. I don't remember wedging my clay when I was in elementary either.
Yeah. I wonder if our teacher wedged it before.
It's possible. Yeah, that is possible.
I'm making a design to go in the guitar.
Whoa, I love it. That's going to be so cool.
Yep.
That's such a fun idea to make a design for your guitar. So yeah, you guys are going to be pro ceramicists now. You guys probably know a lot more techniques than most people know. So be proud of yourself and all the things you learned this week.
Yeah, once we go back to school, if anybody did my art class, they're gonna.
Right, yeah, you guys are going to be able to teach them so much stuff. You are going to be the expert. So yeah, we will come by and pick up all of your things that you've glazed throughout the week, and we'll take pictures or label them or something this time, so we won't mix them up. And we'll get them back to you soon. So some of these things that are underglazed have to be fired twice. So we fire it once, and then we put a clear coat on it and then fire it again. But the other things that have already been fired once, we just fire one time. But yeah, we'll get them back to you, and it'll be like Christmas getting them back. It'll be so fun to see everything you made.
So excited to see everything, everybody. I'll work out with everybody's parents when I'm going to come by and pick it all up, okay? Okay.
I had so much fun this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it and had so much fun too.
It was fun. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.